It's time for the big show with Andy Gallo and Country Jim.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Andy Gallo.
And I'm Country Jim.
And we've got our guest with us, Greg Sury. Greg?
Yes, sir.
Good to meet you, man. I've never met you before. Jim told me all the good stuff about you.
It's all good.
Okay. It's all good. So, now, where were you raised at?
Houston, Texas.
All right.
Born and raised.
Cool. Now, you live, where do you live at now?
I'm in Beaumont.
In Beaumont?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
he's playing tonight with Liz Talley.
Right.
And
Liz.
we had her on the podcast.
We did.
And he told me something on the way up here. Tell me that story about Liz.
About Liz. Well, I went to school with a guy named Gary Talley, and that's her husband. So he lived right down the street from me, since childhood.
Right.
We went to the same three schools. Cool. And so...
Do they still live in the same neighborhood?
They still live in that house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
And so in about 1980, when I was 20, I found out she's a country artist. So then she found out about me, and I started playing with her.
Right.
And we had old Joe De Leon in the band on drums.
Oh, man.
Cool.
And,
I loved
people
him
like
a lot.
that. Yeah.
So you, Country told me that you play a lot of instruments.
Yeah.
What is your favorite? I know you play bass and fiddle and
Yeah,
what
I
else?
started out and I wanted a drum set when I was 9 years old, and they bought me a guitar instead, and I'm very thankful.
Now, we had a story.
My uncle was a bass player,
Yeah.
so I learned bass from him, just listening, and we played in bands together, polka bands.
Right.
I played trumpet, and,
Okay.
and he played bass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's
How'd
good.
you learn trumpet? School or
Yeah,
something?
school.
Wow.
I
That's
had good
good.
teachers and
Right.
first chair trumpet player.
Wow.
So
And,
when you started playing music, you were how old? 12
nine,
or 13?
about
9 years old?
Yeah, on guitar.
Yeah.
I took some guitar lessons in Oak Forest
Right.
at a music studio just to learn lead and how that works. So
Right.
Yeah.
that helps.
Now, Liz was, she was already playing too?
Yeah.
She's about the same age as you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Cool.
I played in another polka band in 1979. I was 19, and I picked up the fiddle, so I played fiddle, guitar, bass, and trumpet in that band.
Wow.
A guy named
Yeah.
Jimmy Brosh, a pretty popular polka
Right.
band.
Right. Yeah. Polka bands are still pretty popular around this area. VFW halls.
And after that, I went more country. So
Yeah.
actually, in 1985, I moved to San Antonio because I was DJing also. They needed a full-time DJ, so I went to Midnight Rodeo, which is a huge club over there.
Yeah.
And it just now closed down last year.
Wow. So, would you say that you're more of a side man than a front man?
Yeah, utility man.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. That's good.
but I also got into songwriting, and I've always sang too, but just not front man.
Right. Right.
I didn't book anything.
Right. And we're going to talk about your songwriting a little bit later on in more detail.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you sing harmony like the
Yeah,
baritone part?
yeah.
Yeah.
And back in the day, I could sing a pretty good falsetto.
On the
I
tenor
can't
line.
do it now, but yeah.
Is that age?
I've got some recordings. I recorded at Sugar Hill and Sound Masters, and
Okay.
I've got some recordings of way up there.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Well,
those
as you get older, you just get deeper.
Yeah, everybody drops the key.
Yeah, they drop a little bit.
Yeah.
Those are some of the most prominent studios in
Absolutely.
Houston.
Yeah.
So who was the artist? Do you remember who was recording there that you?
Well, Sound
Played on their
Masters was
session?
Frenchie Burt and Randy Corner and all them.
Yeah. So was you on?
I didn't get to play with them.
Okay.
I recorded there later on, like 2000.
And that
But
was-
I've always known about it because I had those albums.
right. Oh yeah, Frenchie Burt, Randy Corner,
Yeah.
just amazing.
So I came back to Houston in '87, and I played with fans like Kevin Egan, Tim Nichols, Bill Hart. Who am I forgetting?
You know, we talk about classic country as though it's all a part of the same genre.
Yeah.
But there's actually a kind of there's a number of sub-genres under the heading of classic country. For instance, he just did a couple of really great videos on two artists that very recently passed away, Bobby Flores,
Yep.
and then also Randy Corner.
Yep.
And if our viewers want to go on YouTube and find those, it'll say done by Greg Sury, and they are really excellent. But you've got on the one hand a classic artists like Ray Price and Johnny Bush, and those are what I would call Texas dance hall artists.
Yep.
But you would never find Johnny Cash or Waylon Jennings playing the Texas dance. It's and so as far as Houston is concerned, I call it the Pasadena corridor, down there in the Gillies territory.
Yep.
And that is, in a lot of ways, a different kind of music. And Greg was in that corner of the music, playing with Randy Meadows and all those guys. What would you say about it? It had kind of a train beat and more of a rock kind of aspect to it than
some of them do, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Randy plays his own songs,
Yeah.
So what was it like back in those days, in that era, playing with those guys?
Like during the Urban Cowboy era?
Yeah.
Right after that.
Right,
I never played at Gillies because I was only 19, but now I met all these people that went to Gillies, like Gator Conley and and Leon Beck.
Yeah.
And
Ralph Cantu,
Ralph, and I see all of them in Pasadena now for the past 20 years. But that's where I've been playing the last 20 years mostly.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they're living in the old past there.
But it is more of a listening music rather than. And it's not that no one ever dances to any of that; they do. We just had Jeff Woolsey on here, and he said dance halls is all he plays in essence.
Yep.
So I find that those two different corners of the music world, and you find in that the Pasadena, you find a lot more of those guys that are songwriters and that are doing original material.
Yeah.
The dancers in the dance hall, they want to dance to a song that they've heard and that they know.
Right.
They don't want to hear a song somebody just wrote.
Right.
It's
Looking for Love is an automatic dance song there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
For sure. Yep.
So tell me about which would you rather play? What instrument would you rather play?
I enjoy lead guitar the most because it's very creative and you don't do the same thing twice.
Yeah.
I don't.
Right.
I like to learn the licks just like the record, and people appreciate that when they hire me.
Yep.
But that also helps you create your own licks as a basis.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to practice.
Yeah.
If I go see a band, I'd like to hear it just close to the record. That impresses me.
See, me too. Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you too. You said you like to put your own licks in there, but yet you still keep it sounding like the
the signature licks, the main.
Absolutely.
The fill in, you can do anything.
Yeah.
But the intro,
Oh yeah.
do it like the record.
Yeah.
And the audience likes that.
Sure.
The first
Because
measure.
they're going to say, "Oh, this that song. Let's go dance."
That's right.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a Haggard song or
Yeah.
or something that's very recognizable, that kind of thing, So
Down.
Right.
That Haggard lick. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How about there?
Oh yeah, man. I always hate that because it's a song I got burned out on a long time ago. And
My uncle used to say when they request Cotton Eye Joe, "Oh, I hate that son of a."
Yeah. Would they always back it up with Cotton Eye Joe and then
Schottish,
Schottish? Or something. Yeah.
when we would play outside at Hyde's Cafe near the railroad track, when the train would come by and we had to temporarily pause, we would go ahead and play Folsom Prison.
Free beer, wasn't it?
Something that was in between.
Free beer during a train.
Really? Now, are you an only child, or do you have brothers and sisters?
Seems like it, but I have a sister that's 12 years older.
Oh, okay.
I like to joke that I was an accident, but
Where does she live?
she's in Houston, close to here.
She play music?
No, not at all.
No.
She was a nurse.
Anybody else in your family?
No, my dad said I can't even play a radio without getting off frequency.
Been there, done that. Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. I guess I got it from my uncle's side there.
So he played, your uncle?
Bass, yeah.
Bass, okay. Yeah.
Andy was a DJ, and when you said DJ, you're talking about club DJing and
Yeah,
playing.
clubs.
Yeah.
It's a lot different.
I did that one time too.
You did?
Oh yeah. Back in the 80s, I guess it was.
So I've always been involved with computers. I bought the first computer I could. It was a TI-99A in 1978 because I was working at Eckerd's, and they had them for sale, and I bought me one. And I learned computers. I've had an IT career also when I worked at Chevron and Enron doing desktop support.
Mm-hmm.
And I took my computer knowledge in 85 and made a music format for Midnight Rodeo. They had a whole chain of clubs. And I put every song we played in this database, and then I sorted it by beats per minute and energy level. So we came up with a pretty tight format that worked. I mean,
wow. Yep.
It increased tempo and energy, and it sold drinks and everything.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was great.
Oh, yeah. If you got to keep it hot and heavy.
Yeah. And then we'd play some rock songs, and then we'd drop it back to a ballad, start all over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you're actually doing some of that now. And talk a little bit about your faith journey. I know you've got a church connection.
Yeah, where I'm at now it's a recovery center, and we have chapel on Tuesday night, and I went through the program and stayed there on as a volunteer because I love the place and I love helping the guys.
Yeah.
Let's back up just a little bit. You're talking about recovery,
Yeah.
okay? So let's just back up just a little bit, and let's just kind of talk about that just for just a few seconds, and kind of that'll actually lead us into that song that you wrote.
Yeah.
So talk about that and what happened to you along the way there.
Oh, okay. So when I turned 19, I started drinking because it was legal, right? But the first time I drank, I got drunk. And it was always a problem. But I was a functioning alcoholic. I mean, I'd get in trouble, go to jail, I'd do the probation, and I'd be okay. But eventually I'd start drinking again. So
how long did that go on?
that went on from 79 to 2012.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
So a lot of DWIs, and I'm lucky I never got a felony, or I never did a really hard time.
Yeah.
Most I ever did was like 6 to 9 months.
Right. So
I got, I came here to a halfway house, and then I learned about Dream Center, and I said I want to learn what it takes to be sober without any antidepressants. I tried those; they don't really work. This is a faith-based place, so we hit the Bible for a year solid. You read the whole Bible within a year, and eventually I started saying God doesn't want me to drink.
Right.
I'm not an addict.
it's a cleansing.
Yeah.
Right? Would you say? Would you agree that reading the Bible is very cleansing?
Yeah,
So.
get you out of your mind. I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, you play music, so when you played, and let's just say, do you go out and play bars and clubs now?
Yeah, that's where the gigs are.
Okay.
I still
Well,
have to do that.
That's
sometime.
kind of where I'm leading, because I'm wondering how tough that is, or is that tough at all? Does that not faze you that you got people around you drinking?
It doesn't faze me because I know what I need to do.
Okay.
I love your story, Greg. I've long appreciated you as a musician and as a friend, but I'm so thankful for your recovery. So now you do at church. You do gospel songs, huh? Do y'all do?
It's they call it Christian songs, worship songs.
So it's more.
When you say gospel, I think of the old time.
I'll Fly Away and all
So
that.
it's more
Yeah.
more contemporary.
Contemporary
like
gospel.
you hear on K-Love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, that's where I get my playlist.
Right.
Chris Tomlin,
Right.
Yeah.
Elevation Worship.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's awesome.
Very good.
You know, Leslie played fiddle for Chris Tomlin when he was before he made it big while he was here in the Woodlands. So, what about this song that you wrote about your journey and about your deliverance? I've listened to it.
I started writing that in November 2021. I was thinking about, I want to express what I've been through or how I came out of it or whatever. So I jotted down, I'm on the right road now. And Scott McGill said, and that's a one-way street. Okay, yeah. Go on.
It's a great song.
I message all these people on Facebook, hey, I'm writing the song, here's what I got. Go. And they'd start sending me lines, and I started assembling. If you gave me just one line, I'm not going to give you that credit, but Tammy Taylor come up with a whole verse, and I put her down for half credit on that, half songwriters.
So,
Yeah.
cut her in for a little bit of it there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you want to grab that guitar behind you?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can't.
Let's see if I do this.
Yeah. I mean.
All my life, I've driven down this highway, driving fast with no direction home. Only cared about doing my way till I was lost and all alone. I'm on the right road now. It's a one-way street. You saved me from the highway of ruin and defeat. When I get where I'm going, you better believe I'll sing of all you've done for me.
Yeah.
I may have messed that up.
Sounds good to us, though.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Oh, I like it. Good.
Well, Greg, we're thankful for you, man. We appreciate you doing this for us, and
Yeah, I enjoy it. This is fun.
Yeah.
we want
So,
you to,
just before we leave, are you writing or thinking about writing any other songs?
I got
or-
one on the burner.
Cool.
It's going to be about God's timing.
Cool.
yeah, there you go.
It's going to be called You Waited for Me.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we'll have to have you back on here when you get that
Yeah.
finished up and everything.
And Tammy's already sent me some lines on it.
Sammy's a good
She's
friend.
really good.
Man.
Yeah.
That is great. Well, Greg, we appreciate you being here. And
All right.
It's good to meet you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care.
God bless you, brother.
We'll see y'all later.
All right.
Thanks for listening to The Big Show with Andy Gallo and Country Jim.
This has been a Unicap Media presentation.